Hi everyone and welcome to Dream Space TV here in One Microsoft Place in Dublin. My name is Corey.
And I'm Amanda.
In this series, we're going to explore everything Minecraft Education Edition and look at how we can learn new things and new skills along the way. At the end of the series, every primary school in Ireland will have the opportunity to take part in a competition, which is going to be judged by RTE, Microsoft and Minecraft. So stick with us over the next 6 episodes because we're going to teach you everything you're going to need to know to take part. Sounds exciting.
So exciting. So what are we going to learn today? Well, today we're going to bring you through the basics of Minecraft Education Edition. And we're going to be taking on our very first build challenge called My Dream Home. We're also going to have to use lots of skills like our creativity skills. We're going to have to use maths and lots more as we go. But you've heard me mention Minecraft Education Edition. And I'm sure there's some pupils watching this that go straight away, I know Minecraft, okay? So what we think is now would be a good time to pause and talk about everything you know about Minecraft. Okay, so you might have lots of things written down or discussed in your classroom about Minecraft, but you've probably heard me say Minecraft Education Edition. So that's going to be a little bit different maybe than what you know. It just means that your school has different settings they can apply. There's also lots of lessons that you can take part in the Education Edition version. So for you as pupils, there's so much fun you can have in this version too. And over the next few episodes, as Corey said, we're going to make sure that you're comfortable with all of the features that you can use in your schools and your classrooms. What's your favorite feature, Corey, about using Minecraft?
Oh, there's loads. But I think like the biggest thing that I love about it is that we can build 3D structures. So like sometimes when I'm writing things down on like pen and paper, I can find it hard to visualize what I'm trying to draw or trying to achieve. But when I'm in Minecraft, I actually have the 3D structures there, so it helps me see it properly.
I can completely relate to that one. Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about it is I mentioned there's lots of like lessons and lots of different worlds you can go into. And for me, it teaches me things that I never knew stuff about before. So it could be like a piece of history, lots of different things. So for me, the learning that can happen is a huge deal, which is great.
There's also a lot of, like you mentioned, there are worlds, but there's also a lot of biomes. Yes. And biomes are basically just when plants and animals can live together in a shared habitat or like place to live. And we're going to be exploring lots of different biomes, aren't we, over the next 6 episodes?
We will be. And so speaking of, I think we've done lots of talking about what Minecraft Education Edition can do and what it is. But it might be a good time now just to sit down and get logged in.
I think so.
Okay, so what's really important is I'm going to just bring you through the basic steps of how we get logged in, what Minecraft Education Edition looks like, and a few different features that you might see. But you don't have to follow me on this, you can just watch along. So on my screen here, I'm going to click Sign In. And hopefully your school should have all your logins to be able to do this. It's asking you, first of all, to enter your email. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in my email address. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead here and click Next. Okay, and the next thing it's asking me to do is enter my password. Now, I'm not going to show myself entering my password on the screen, but obviously you can enter your password and then click Sign In. Right, now we're on to our home screen. So you can see on my home screen it says Minecraft Education Edition. And I just want to point out a couple of things about this screen. So first of all, in the bottom right corner, it says v1.14.50. Just to quickly explain what that means, that's the version of Minecraft Education Edition that we are on. And it's just a note maybe for your teacher to just make sure that if possible, all your pupils are on the same version number. In a couple of episodes time, that might be important for us to use multiplayer, okay? The other thing I can see on my home screen are kind of these options here. So I play, hour of code, settings, switch accounts. So I'm going to click into settings and you'll see here that there's different options. We're not going to go through them all, but the one I do want to point out is audio. And in audio, you can see that my music is at 100 and my sounds are at 100. Now in a classroom where lots of pupils might be using this, Corey, it could get a bit loud.
Bit loud.
So what we might advise you to do is actually bring them down. So that you're not kind of disrupting somebody else's learning as you go too. But there is other things in there that you can check out. I'm going to go back out of there though. Okay, one more thing I want to cover before we actually click on play. Over on the right-hand side, you can see it says Amanda J, that's me, and my avatar. So you can take a minute or two when you first log in, if your teacher is okay with this, to kind of change your avatar to suit you. There's different skins. I don't know, Corey, what one you have.
I have the one with the girl with blonde hair and she has dungarees on.
Okay, I'm going to pick the one that's, she has the t-shirt with C on it. So I'm going to click on that one and I'm going to click confirm. And you can see now my avatar has changed. All right, so I'm happy with that. So let's click on play and see where that brings us. We're on another screen now. So let's talk through what we see on this screen. So the first thing is it says view my worlds. This is where you can find the worlds that you've worked on maybe in previous lessons or previous classes. So that's going to be useful. Underneath, you can create new worlds. There's a join world button or option, and that's going to definitely be important for us in a couple of episodes. We can import worlds if we've saved them somewhere else or if we find other worlds that we could use. But a lot of the time, Corey, we're going to use our library, aren't we? So I'm going to click into view library. And this could be a great place for you and your teacher to explore because, as I said, we're in the education edition. So there's lessons, there's different challenges. As Corey mentioned at the start, there's different biomes, and I mentioned the worlds, and how I can learn loads about them. And then there's even instructions of how to play if you needed that little bit of help. But I think, Corey, we're going to be going into biomes, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
And there's two options here. I'm going to click on biomes. And as Corey said, these are kind of just places where plants and animals live, right? Big areas. And we're going to start with like a grassland habitat, I think.
Very nice.
Give ourselves lots of space.
Yeah.
So this one here that says blocks of grass, I'm going to go ahead and click on that and very simply click create world. So just while this is loading, Corey, what we might do is when we get in is we might just kind of give everyone the basic movements of moving around, different options we have. And I know some people might be very familiar with this, but then some people might not.
Yeah, some people might not have done it before, so it's very important for us to get a kind of grasp of how that works because we're really, really going to need to know how to navigate through this world, aren't we?
Yeah, 100%. So you can see here, I am in my world. Now, you might have a laptop like me, so I'm going to bring you through how you could do this on a laptop. You might have a mouse. I have a mouse. You might not. You might be using a trackpad. Either way, if you're using this kind of device, I'm going to show you, and then we might get Corey to show you how it would look with a touchscreen tablet. Yep. Okay? So in my world, if I use my trackpad or my mouse, if I just move my mouse to the left, I'm turning left. If I move my mouse to the right, I'm turning right, okay? If I move my mouse up, I look up to the sky. If I move down, I look down at the ground. So that's pretty straightforward.
Okay, but that's kind of your eyes, isn't it? That's like where you're looking. So what if you actually want to like move forward?
Yeah, moving's going to definitely be important. So, all right, so if I have a look here on my keyboard, because remember I'm using a kind of laptop device, I have a keyboard. On my keyboard, I have W, which will bring me forward.
Okay.
I have S to bring me backwards, A to bring me to the left, and D to bring me to the right. And you might see on the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, it says H will show me the controls. So if I click on that, actually, look, it's actually, if you're thinking I won't remember all that, you can show that up and you can kind of get yourself familiar. But I guarantee after a few minutes of this, you'll be very used to moving around. So under that, Corey, I can see on my controls, the next thing it's saying is jump.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my space bar to jump. So I might start walking forwards and I might hit my space bar at the same time. And I'm jumping in the air.
Having the time of your life.
Yeah, jumping for joy. Okay, or I might actually want to fly up into the air.
Yes.
So it says space by 2. So I basically double tap on my space bar and hold it down. And you can see now, look, I'm up in the air, having a look around my land, my grassland area, happy out.
Unreal.
Now, if I want to come back down to earth, right, I can either double tap on the space bar again, right, which will bring me down immediately.
Very
if I
fast.
wanted to just like drop slightly, I'll just use the shift key, which is like the arrow on your keyboard. If I want to literally come right down quickly, I'll double tap on my space bar and you can see I've dropped all the way back down.
Sometimes I get butterflies when I do that.
Yeah?
Because I actually feel like I actually feel like I'm falling.
Okay. So the other thing there you'll see it says is our inventory, which again is going to be super important.
Yeah.
So I'm going to click on E for inventory. And in here, I have all my materials that I can use. So for example, I might decide that I'm going to use these oak wood planks. I might decide I'm going to use this red stained glass. I might decide I need a ladder, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm taking these items and I'm putting them into these slots located down the bottom. And if you look, you'll see there are 9 slots, okay? So from 1 to 9. So we can actually fill all these up. If I come back and I don't need a ladder anymore, I can drop it back out and I can take in something else instead. So it doesn't mean that you're left and stuck with those 9 things. You can always swap out, okay? But I'm going to just fill in slot 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. And then I'm going to come back into the game now. So Corey, we might just show everyone how they can place something. Okay. So just in case, again, some people might not be familiar with this. So I have my slots down the bottom, 1, 2, and 3. So if you call out a number, I'll use that material.
Ooh, 2.
2, okay. So to select slot 2 using my laptop device, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on the number 2 at the top of my keyboard. And now you can see that I'm holding my red stained glass, which is in slot 2 on my bar down the bottom, my hot bar. And I'm going to place it. So I'm going to just literally use my kind of cross symbol. I don't know if you can see that in the center of my screen. It's actually pointing out where I'm going to place it. So I'm going to say I want to put the red stained glass right there, and I'm going to right click to place it. So there you go. So there's my red stained glass. So I can put another one there. I can put another one there. So you can see we can start building out like so. Woo! If I decide that I don't want those 2 in the middle, I can just go up to them. I can use my cross again, and I can use my left click to actually get rid of them. Perfect. Okay? So that could be important. Now, one final little thing I want to point out is we might be using like some commands. Yes. So to do that, we use the / symbol on our keyboard for if you have a laptop. So I'm going to click on that. And there you go. You can see a command window has opened up. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Yeah. So I think that's enough for people to get going if they're using this type of device. But if they're using a touch screen, Corey, would you mind bringing everyone through that? Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it would look like on a tablet touchscreen device. Now, I'm going to detach my keyboard for this part so I can use the tablet version. So if I place my thumb on the screen, this circle comes up. Now this circle kind of represents my eyes, or like Amanda's mouth. So if I look up, I can see the sky. If I look down, I can see the grass. And if I look left and right, I can see left and right. Okay, but how do I get moving? Well, you can see over here that there's arrows on the screen now in the bottom left-hand corner. So I can just click on them. So if I press the up arrow, I can move forward. The back arrow, move backwards. Left, and right, go right. Okay, so now if I do them in conjunction together, I can like look around, and I can move, and I can have the time of my life. Okay, but how do I jump? Okay, because we've seen in Amanda's version, she was able to jump. So you might be able to see on my screen that there's kind of like a little diamond within a square. So if I press that, I can jump, okay? But how do I fly? Well, I just double tap it, okay? And now I have a few more options, because now I have a kind of bendy up arrow and a bendy down arrow, and that represents how I can fly. So if I press the bendy up arrow, I can go up, 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 high to the sky, and then the bendy down arrow will bring me back down, okay? And if I double click on the button in the middle here, that just means like stop flying, okay? Now, to access our inventory, Amanda pressed E on her keyboard, but I don't have a keyboard. So what I'm going to do is there's 3 little buttons, like 3 little dots here. If I click on them, my inventory pops up, and this is where I can get all my materials, okay? So let's say, spoiled for choice here, I might go for the like purple stained glass, and I just click on that, and then I click where I want it to go on my hotbar. So I just put it first, okay? So I might go with that, I might go with a staircase, and maybe a fence for good luck. Okay, and once that's done, I can just press the X. And now you can see that in my hotbar on the bottom of the screen, I have those items. Now, in Amanda's case, she was able to use her keyboard to click on like 1, 2, or 3 for the items that she wanted. But in our case, using the touch screen, we are just going to actually click on the item that we want. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with my purple stained glass, and I'm going to find a space here in the Minecraft world where I want to place this. Okay,
here looks good because it's nice and bare. Now, if I want to actually place this, I obviously don't have a mouse, so I can't left or right click, but that's okay, because all I have to do to place a block is point to where I want it to go and just press the screen, okay? So if I keep doing that, woo! Okay, loads of purple blocks. It's looking amazing. Oop, there's the sky. Woo! Okay, so now what happens if I want to destroy those? Okay, well, I just hold down on the blocks for a little bit longer, so watch how I'm doing it. I'm just, there we go, gone. I'm after destroying a bit of grass. I'm going to have to get better at that. Okay, and I can just keep destroying them, hold down for a little bit longer to destroy, and there we go. And there's loads of grass gone now. Okay, one more thing that I want to show you, and that's our commands, okay? So they are going to become really, really important as the episodes go on. And up at the top here on my screen, you can see a little chat bubble. So if I just click the little chat bubble, that's where I can do my chat commands. Okay, well, I'm going to reattach my keyboard because I'm used to actually building with a keyboard and mouse. But Amanda, I think it's time for today's first challenge, so people can actually practice the skills that we've just learned. And as you mentioned earlier on, our first challenge is called our Dream Home Challenge. And this is my favorite one because we get to be so creative with this one. But I'm not just going to jump in and build my dream home. I have to plan it first, don't I?
Absolutely, as always. So if you've joined us in our first series of Dream Space TV, great. If you didn't, don't worry. But just to quickly highlight, we have kind of a sequence or an order we follow all the time.
Yep.
So we always make a plan, then we go ahead and do, and then we always review as we go and kind of look back at the end, don't we, as well?
Yeah.
So we're going to make a plan?
Yes, let's.
So with our Dream Home Challenge, well, first of all, we have to decide what type of home do we want this to be. So what are you thinking? Okay,
I'm thinking of a cottage.
Okay, like, oh, a lovely little cottage.
I know, how cute.
Yeah, which will suit our like grassland area.
Exactly.
Okay. And so we need to figure out like the size of the cottage. So I'm going to change this to be like a grid background or like squares, like graph paper, so that we can maybe draw out kind of with the blocks in mind. So what are you thinking size-wise for your cottage?
Let me have a little look. Okay, I'm just going to place a block here just so I can kind of, okay. What about 12 by 12?
12 blocks. Do you want to go ahead and start placing that and just kind of, because I don't know, even when you're saying that, I don't know if that's enough for a cottage. If you want to have like, how many rooms do you want, for example?
2.
Okay.
1,
3,
2,
4, 5. Oh. Okay, I think that's 12.
I'm going to have to get better at this building.
So that's, you know, it looks big obviously on my page, Corey, but you need to figure out for your cottage, is that going to allow you to have like 2 rooms? You know, enough space really is what you need.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it here, yeah.
Is it big enough? Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
No, definitely.
So that's going to be like one way, and then, you know, obviously we're going to have more, so we're going to make it like a square, so we're going to have 12 every side?
Yeah, 12 by 12.
Okay, grand. So I'll very quickly, you stay with me, just make sure that we have 12 here as well. And then we can use this basically to kind of figure out how to place everything and know how much space we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need 2 more. This is the hardest part, to get the first step. Get my ruler right. Real rulers are much easier than digital rulers, is what I've learned. Okay, and I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can all see. Okay, great. And then real quick, just do this line.
But this is going to be great because it's going to actually give me a good idea of what will fit in the cottage and what won't.
Yeah, we can. So basically what we're saying is, we're saying that each square here is representing like how much space you'll have to place blocks in the Minecraft world. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, so this is the outline or the perimeter wall of your cottage, isn't it? So will I write that? So that's going to be the wall. So that's going to take up like that much space basically each time.
Yeah.
Okay, and I spelled wall wrong. Better add my extra L. So now we need to figure out, I suppose, what you want to place inside your cottage, or how much space we're going to take up for each room. What are the rooms?
Okay, a bedroom.
Okay, so you're going to have 12 kind of to work with here. So we go like 5 over?
Yeah, go 5 over, and I'll tell you why now.
All right, so that's the wall to your bedroom, let's say, will we? So I'm going to go down that far maybe.
Yeah.
And I'll just write in here, I'll just write a little bedroom. I feel like an architect. I'm sure anyone who knows anything about architecture is going to say you're absolutely not an architect right now.
It looks great. Stop that.
Okay.
Okay, so the reason why I told you to go 5 across and not 6, because in my head I was thinking, well, if it's 12, 6 and 6 for the 2 rooms, but obviously we need room for a hall.
Oh, yes.
A little hallway. So let's go ahead and...
Will I put the door here then?
Yeah, put the door there.
And how, will you just, is a door, I don't know, does a door take up one space, one block area?
I'll tell you now. 1 second. 1 block.
1 block. Okay, perfect. So that's the door. That's going to take up that 1 block or space there. And then they come in the door, and then you can go this way to your bedroom.
Exactly.
And then this way to your
living area.
living area. Okay. So we'll say living. I'll just say living. And then are we going to have like a corridor here, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I want a corridor.
So okay. So we put a little door at the other end as well, maybe.
Yeah.
Like a front door and the back door.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put that down there. So we put another one. Okay, so this is the corridor. So we do 5 again, sure, to keep it even?
Keep it even.
Okay. Right, okay. So now, next thing you need to decide about your home is, and we want people to be adventurous with this now, is what furniture are you going to put into your home? And obviously, again, this is why it's important that you count and you think about it, because you need to make sure there's enough space for whatever furniture you want. So what are you thinking?
Okay, we'll start with the bedroom, a bed. Obviously.
Okay, and does a bed just take up 1? No, it must take up more than 1, does it?
Hopefully. I want a double bed. Okay, let me see. Bed. Let me bring this out. It actually takes up 2.
2, and you're going to have 2 of them. Did you say you're going to have a double bed?
Oh yeah, actually great idea.
So we're going to have, you can see very quickly, that's going to take up 4 squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect though. We'll write bed there. Okay, what else do you want in your bedroom?
Okay, so if you tuned into Dream Space TV Series 1, everybody will know that I love to dance and I love a bit of music. So I'm going to put like a jukebox or something in my room.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I'm going to see if there's one in the inventory.
So you're going to check your inventory for that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just kind of placing it randomly. You tell me where you want. Maybe over here at this wall.
Oh yeah, fab. There actually is a jukebox.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can play some tunes.
Woo! And it takes up 1 block.
Okay, perfect. So we used 1 square there.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else?
Oh, actually, I love to read before I go to bed, so I might do like a little bookshelf.
Okay, perfect.
And again, I'm going to check my inventory to see if there is a bookshelf. Ah, there is. And it takes up one space.
Well, if you've loads of books, it might take up 2. You might place
actually,
2.
Give me room for 2.
So, yeah, so we'll give you 2. Okay, bookshelf. Deadly. Right, so that's your bedroom, and we can see that you're definitely going to have enough room to go in, to move around, I think our diagram is useful anyway. I find this much easier than trying to figure it out as I go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so then you've come in the door. What about you go right? What are you thinking for your living room?
Okay, the living room is where I think I'm going to have to get a little bit more creative.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's a couch. I'll check, but I'd be very surprised if there's a couch in the inventory.
Okay.
Okay. No, there's no couch, and there's no chair. So I'm going to have to actually build a couch.
Okay. So this is where the 3D stuff comes in, where pupils might have to think, well, how are we going to, place, how many blocks will we need to make a base, then the sides, then maybe the back and stuff. So we'll see how you get on when you're doing it maybe. But roughly speaking, this is think of this image as like a looking down
like
view.
An aerial view.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not going to see the whole build of the couch, but roughly speaking, what are you thinking? It'll probably take up at least 4, will it?
4, I'd say, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, it's definitely going to take up that much space.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to, how do you spell couch? I'm going to say sofa. I call it the sofa.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay, so, so that's in there. And then any other thinking?
Oh, actually, I know. A television.
You want a television?
Yeah, but I think I'm going to have to make that as well.
Giving yourself a hard task here. Okay, and then again, if you're going to have to make that, there's going to have to be a base, and then, so 2 or 3?
3. That's just
3.
to be safe.
Okay, TV. Okay, right. What is that enough kind of to help you get started?
Yeah.
You know how many you're going to need to lay down. So we
Yeah.
actually, do you know what? That's something we probably should add in. So I'll put in the figures for you. So we have, so it's 12.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be 12 by 12. Yeah?
Yeah, brilliant.
And then you can kind of count it out as you go then. That
Amazing.
help?
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
the rest you can figure out because you can see by each box is a block.
Yeah,
So
that's good. I love your drawing. It's very good.
thanks very much. Right, so are you ready to build?
I am.
Let's get building. Okay. Right, Corey, so how did you get on with the building there?
I had the time of my life.
It did look like it. You
Yeah.
were like laughing away there to yourself, thinking of different things. And
Now,
everything.
come here. It was hard at the start. I was destroying grass, everything, but I got
You
to
got
terms
there?
with it. I got to terms with it. Will I show you around?
Yeah, maybe if you go in there and then I'm going to keep an eye on, you can like let me know how you got on here because you might have obviously had to change things. I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely. Straight off the
Okay.
bat, we didn't account for windows.
Oh my God. Yes, of course.
So my cottage was very dark.
Yeah.
So I made sure that I put loads of windows in it. So
Brilliant.
you'll
It
see.
looks deadly now, yeah.
I'll go into my bedroom, loads of natural light.
And how did you get on? Could you do a double bed?
Yeah, I could do a double bed.
Fitted? Okay, brilliant.
I'll have a great sleep tonight now. And then I have like loads of windows behind
Yeah.
my bed. And then my bookshelves are here.
Yeah, love it.
Look great. And then my jukebox.
Oh, so you'd be
Obviously.
dancing away in there.
Yeah, having the time of my life.
Brilliant. And then into your living room, did you?
Yeah.
Actually, interested to see how you got on here. How did you get on with the sofa?
I actually got on okay. At the start, I was like, ugh. But basically, what I went for was like a corner couch. It's like an L-shaped because I found
very
an
fancy.
L. I know. I found like an L-shaped block, and I was
Right.
like, what could I do with this? And then I figured out corner couch, obviously. So here's my corner couch, and over here is the telly. So
Brilliant.
they're watching some type of movie.
Yeah.
And then have all my windows. Now, I did put in another door.
Okay.
That can like lead out to the back.
Yeah,
but-
brilliant. And I was thinking, like, you're in this massive, like, grassland biome, like loads of blocks of grass around you. There's lots of animals roaming around, which is really cool and stuff. So it would make sense to kind of use your environment and maybe have like a garden. So I know we were thinking, I took the opportunity that when you were really busy over there, I was like thinking ahead to myself, what would I have in my dream home? Well, I definitely would have a garden.
Yeah.
So if I go over, I was here drawing away. So as much as you love building, I love doing my little drawings with my rulers and stuff, as we know. And I was thinking we could have our own like sustainable garden. So like a garden that basically reduced waste for us in our home, and it means we use what's around us more effectively. So I was thinking like, stay with me on this now, hopefully you're okay. So
Okay.
I was thinking, if it was okay with you, because you're gonna have to do the building for me, is we could have like a fenced area, and we have a little gate to go
Love
in.
it.
And then when we go in, we have an area with like vegetables, so we can like grow our own vegetables, which is obviously very sustainable, which is brilliant. And also it means we can like compost stuff from our home and use it to kind of add to that to kind of help them grow.
Oh, no.
And then we have a little area for some chickens or hens, so we could lay eggs.
Great
So again, that's
idea.
going to help
Yeah.
us. And then of course just some flowers, just to kind of brighten it up
Yeah.
a little bit.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So, and actually on that, like for these things, for vegetables and flowers to grow, I was thinking it's important to maybe think about that. So I wonder what factors like a vegetables or flowers would actually need to grow. So maybe now would be a good time to pause and have a think about or write down in your classroom what factors you think that these things need to grow and survive. Okay, so be interested to see how everyone got on thinking about that one. So there's definitely factors that these things need to be able to survive and grow. Corey, any ideas?
Okay, well, they definitely need water.
Water. I'll write these down.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Water,
So-
sunlight.
Yeah, definitely. So water, sun, or light in general, yeah. And that's actually a really good point. So obviously with water, obviously you can see people go around with hoses or watering cans. So we do that kind of helps. And then obviously natural light will help too. And all of this works alongside then as well, air. So, and specifically in the air, we're talking about for plants, they use carbon dioxide or CO2. And basically, when we use these three things together, or when the plants use those three things together, they can make their own food. in a process called photosynthesis. There's a good long word for you. So I'm going to put my science teacher hat on. So yeah, so photosynthesis is how plants and make their own food, and that helps them obviously to survive.
Unreal.
So we'll obviously have to take into account, hopefully, that our world will allow for all those things. Or there might be a way to kind of showcase it. I'm not sure. You might show us a little trick with that one.
Have a little trick.
But are you okay to go ahead and build my dream garden?
Your dream garden, of course. I will. I'll do my best.
Okay.
Just sorry, real quickly, what's the size of it?
Oh, the size. Thank you. So I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the fence, and it's a square, so it's 8 by 8.
8 by 8. Okay.
Yeah, so 8 and 8. Thank you.
Okay, so let's do this.
You gonna get going?
I'm gonna get going.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to jump straight into our inventory and see what we have in there that can help us build your dream garden. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to get is obviously a fence.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go with nether brick fence. What else do we need? Oh, well, we need the chickens. So I'm just going to type in chicken.
Oh yeah, this is an interesting one.
And it says spawn chicken. Okay, so they all come in these eggs that we have to spawn, okay? So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to drop it into my hot bar.
I have a gate as well, so I actually only have the gate on the outside, but you're going to need a gate to go into the chickens too, so you're going to actually need 2 gates.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I'm after bringing the gate down to my hot bar. What else do I need?
You're going to need seeds. Is there seeds there to grow our vegetables?
Let me type in seeds. Ah, there is actually, so you can pick, right? So we have pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, or beetroot seeds.
We'll go beetroot, sure. Ooh. Yeah.
Okay. And then flowers.
Yes, flowers.
Oh, look at this. There's like sunflowers. And what's this one? Cornflower. Take them two down.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there's a rose bush as well. Sorry, I'm getting very fancy now with my garden. Your garden, I mean. Okay. And
then what about, like, is there a way of watering it, or do we need somehow to help it grow?
Oh, okay, yeah. So this was the little trick that we were talking about. So obviously we don't really have that much time to wait for our flowers and our seeds to grow. So in Minecraft, there actually is a little kind of trick that you can use, and it's called bone meal. So if I type bone here, you can see the middle one here is bone meal, and this is kind of the sped up process basically of the flowers and seeds growing. So I'm going to take that down, and then the last thing I'm going to need is a hoe, because basically we can't destroy the grass and like make the dirt. We actually just need to garden it, so we need one of those. So I'm going to take that out, and I think I have all my equipment. So I'm going to start getting building with this. So you said 8 by 8.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm being very careful counting this because I counted my house wrong.
Oh.
I don't know if you noticed, but I went in a block by accident.
Oh, okay.
So I'm being careful here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. 6,
and then you're
7,
going to, as you're going, you keep working away there, but then just to mention, you're going to need to leave a gap for a gate somewhere anyway, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll have to hop the fence. So we might need, the gate might be a little bit easier for us.
We definitely need the gate then. Okay, so I'm nearly done. You can imagine how long the house took me if it's taken me this long to do the fence. Oh, okay. And leave a little gap for the gate. Okay, so that's done. And now what I want to do is I'm actually going to have like a little area in here where I'm going to put the chickens. So they can't like eat any of the seeds or any of the beetroot or anything like that. So here we go. And I'm not going to give them a gate, or would you give them a gate?
Yeah, I think you need to give them a gate.
Oh, yeah, because you said we need 2 gates. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's that part done. Now what I want to do is probably plant the flowers, will we?
Yeah, I think so. We can put our flower bed in. So you're going to have to use your hoe to kind of get the soil so that it will grow.
So it will grow. And this is actually only something that we learned, wasn't it, when we were doing it? I was destroying all the grass and trying to plant the seeds. So I had to look up actually how we do this. So this is how we do it. So I literally just right click. See this? How cool is that? And now I have like a little patch where I can put my beetroot seeds.
Brilliant.
Okay, so beetroot is 4th in my hotbar. So I just clicked on the number 4, and then I'm just going to place them. This is looking fabulous.
Okay.
I have to say.
Can't wait to see when the beetroot grows, what it looks like.
I know. Well, I'm going to use the bone meal now.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
So here we go. Oh, that was very fast. I actually wasn't expecting that. Okay. So brilliant. We have the beetroot has grown. So that's like amazing, isn't it? With the bone meal, you can kind of see it straight away. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is put down some rose bushes just to make my garden look fancy.
Very fancy, yeah, to go with your fancy cottage.
Oh, this is looking great. Sorry, if I do say so myself. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn my chickens. Okay,
Yes.
so this is fun, this part. So I'm going to fly up and I'm just going to pop them in. Look at them. How many will I do?
Don't want to overcrowd them either, so maybe just 4.
Okay, I had 3, but I'll pop in another one.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. This garden looks so good.
I knew it was going to look good, see? I was thinking about it.
Now I
long and hard.
So I'm just having a little trouble trying to get my gate working here, okay? But I think I have it now. So I'm going to press 3 for my gate. I'm going to right click and now it's attached to the fence. But how do we actually get through gates and doors? Well, we just actually right click on the gate and it will open.
Woo.
Woo! And now we're in our garden.
Okay, brilliant. I'm delighted with that now. Okay. So what I'm thinking though is like we, in all of the episodes we do, we want to have a way of like documenting what we've learnt. And this is a nice opportunity when we're thinking about like our dream home and our dream garden to kind of use our imagination to explain what's here and maybe why we selected it and use our English skills and our writing skills to do that. So I'm thinking, is there some way of documenting that, Corey? Maybe we could show everyone.
Yeah, there is. So there's a couple of things in our inventory that we can use and we call them our tools, don't we? So we can like showcase our learning. So if I press E for inventory, I can go back and I suppose there's a couple of things we could use. So maybe the first one we'll use is like a poster or like a sign.
A sign, yeah, definitely. Nearly like a welcome to our cottage, and you could name your cottage or your home. You might not pick a cottage.
Oh yeah.
So you could name your home. What else could we include in the sign?
I suppose you could include the overall size of the house, like the area maybe.
The area, yeah. So actually, real quick, area, we didn't do that, but if we just look for a second, area tends to be, if we want to calculate the area, just to like how much space is taken up on the ground really, is going to be the length by the width. For us, it's the same, so it's 12 times 12. So we would just multiply them together to calculate the area. So if you know your times tables, which I definitely learned in primary school, it's 144. Normally you have a unit, so let's say that's meters. You would say like that's meters squared.
Okay.
But definitely multiply length by width, and you could put, so if we put that in our sign, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
So maybe we'll do that in our sign.
Right.
So have you got the sign in your
I have
inventory?
the sign, so I'm after getting my sign from the inventory, and like everything else with these, you just right click to place, and then it pops up for me to type something. So this is, I'm going to say my dream cottage.
Corey's cottage has a nice little ring to it, actually.
Actually, it doesn't. I'm going to delete that. I actually love Corey's cottage.
And then
144 meters squared.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, and then when you want to, like finish your sign, you just press enter or just click away. And there it is.
Okay, and another cool thing we can do is actually, I know there's like a camera where we can like take selfies. So we could like go into sections of our cottage or our garden and even take a photo. And then we can use a book basically to write alongside our photo, like what that is, what that's about, use our English skills to do that.
Okay.
How about that?
Unreal, let's do that. So I'm going to pop into my inventory and I'm actually going to search for a camera. And look, there is one.
Amazing.
So I'm going to bring this down and put it into my hotbar. And then also while I'm here, I know you said that you wanted to write some sort of book with your pictures alongside it. So while I'm in my inventory, I'm going to type in book and lots come up. But the one that we're looking for is the book and quill. So it's a book and it has like a little feather beside it. So, bring that one down into your hotbar as well. All right. And then we have our camera and our book and quill. So to take a selfie, my favorite thing to do, is we need to place our camera first of all, okay? So I'm going to place my camera. I need to press 1 because that's where it is in my hotbar. I'm going to place it here. And to actually take the selfie, you just right click to place, right click to take the picture. Okay. So I'm going to right click to take the picture. My avatar is going to smile. And there we go.
Love it.
So good. Okay. But how do I see that photo? Because I got a quick glimpse of it there and then it dropped down and disappeared, okay? So I can see it in my book and quill. So watching carefully how I do this now, I am going to click number 2 in my hotbar because that's where my book and quill is. And I'm going to right click to open it up. okay? So that's like placing it, it's opening it up. Now, you can see here it's like page 1 of 2, page 2 of 2. But what I want to do is I want to add the photo. So I'm going to click on this pencil, and now I have an option to add a page or add a photo. So if I click add photo, and all my photos are here in this little book. So here I am beside my cottage.
Brilliant.
Having the best time ever. And on the opposite page, I can write whatever I want. So this is my cottage. I love it so much. And I could be there all day telling you everything about it.
Okay.
Now, the coolest part, I think, about the book and quill is that when we have finished writing our story and, you know, taking photos of our gardens and our bedrooms and, you know, the furniture that we've made, we can actually sign off on it. So I'm just going to press sign, and I'm going to call it My Cottage by Corey H. And then when I'm done, I sign and close it. And now the book and quill, it turns purple, okay, in my hotbar because it's a finished book. And if I want...
Oh my God, it's like published, you're famous.
I know, I know. So if we want, let's say you were to come into my world and you were looking around my cottage and you were like, oh, I want to know more about this, you can read my book.
Ah, okay.
So how I leave this book for people to read is I just click on it in the hotbar, so it's in my hand, and I press Q to drop. Now, if you're using a touch screen, obviously you don't have the Q, so you actually just hold down. You just touch and hold on your little book and it will drop.
Okay, that's so cool.
I know, I love it.
Well, Corey only did a little bit on kind of just the outside of the cottage, but we were thinking it could be nice to actually do more, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a minute, but what we want to do is just recap over what we actually looked at and learned today. So hopefully now we're confident enough to log into Minecraft Education Edition and get set up, design our avatar, do some basic movements and basic skills within it. Then we looked at doing our very first build challenge, and we learned all about how we were going to use our math skills and our creativity skills to understand that. We also learned a little bit about science, of course, delighted, photosynthesis and sustainability and things like that.
Stop.
So lots done there. So with all of that stuff in mind, we want to set you your episode challenge. So for your episode challenge, we want you to build your dream home after making your plan, of course. So build out your home, maybe add some features, you know, into your garden or different parts around your home. And then most importantly, we want you to use those key things Corey showed you just at the very end. We want you to use the book and quill. We want you to use signs to showcase your learning and practice your skills.
That's it for today's episode, and thank you so much for tuning in to Dream Space TV. Join us next time when we're actually going to go to space.
It's going to be out of this world. Bye.
Bye.